The story of how I got on stage at Funnel Hacking Live. Well, it all started when I ran past security and stole the mic right out of Russell's hands. Just kidding, that never happened. Stick around in this video. I'm gonna share with you the whole story and then also how you can get paid for public speaking engagements and my secret to presenting on the FHL stage. In 2018, I attended my first Funnel Hacking Live, and it was a huge game-changing experience for me. At the time, I had just left my full-time job as a dental hygienist to go all in on my social media business. And I attended this event because a friend of mine had told me about it, but it just blew my mind. First of all, Funnel Hacking Live is like a rock concert for marketers. There is no other conference like it. I was there sitting in the audience and I saw people just like me crossing the stage, getting their 2 Comma Club awards, which is an award that you earn when you've earned $1 million in your business. And here are these people that they also had regular backgrounds just like me. I had just left my profession as a dental hygienist and I thought the goal, the dream would be to make $100,000 in a year. That was the ceiling I had set for myself. That's the only thing that I had thought would be possible. But going to Funnel Hacking Live totally set my sights higher and showed me a new vision, a new reality for what was really possible, especially thanks to this community, this software ClickFunnels, and Russell as a mentor. So the beginning of 2018 was my first Funnel Hacking Live. The beginning of 2019, I attended my second Funnel Hacking Live, and there's actually a video of me that I'm pointing up at the stage and I'm saying, I'm calling my shot, I'm gonna be on that stage next year. And for me, stage, I'm gonna call it now, next year, 2020, I'm gonna be right there next year. And for me, the goal was to be able to cross that stage to get my 2 Comma Club award, but also was a huge dream to be asked to speak at Funnel Hacking Live. For a lot of people in this community, that would just be a huge honor to be able to give back to this community that has helped us to grow so much. So I called my shot publicly. I posted this video of me saying, next year, I'm gonna be up on that stage. Little did I know I would be there for both my 2 Comma Club award and being asked to speak. I made my first million later in 2019 and my second in 2020. So here's the story. Several years in a row, there always happened to be a pregnant speaker at FHL. And I was like, I can do that. I was at that time in my life where I was like, you know, I'm probably gonna have babies soon. So one year in my Inner Circle presentation, I joined Russell's Inner Circle, I photoshopped myself onto someone's pregnant body on stage at Funnel Hacking Live, and I made the joke, if you need a pregnant speaker next year, I'm ready to take one for the team. And then I got a divorce instead. I'm not trying to make light of it. That was a really hard time in my life, but like this video if you can relate to the feeling of when you think your life or your business is headed one way, and then takes a sharp turn. So out of the blue, I got this box from Russell saying, hey, can you get on Zoom with me really quick? And I had a feeling. I was hoping it's either something really good or something really bad. So I got on Zoom.
A question for you.
Okay.
Are you having a baby?
What? No.
Oh, it's okay. I still want you to speak at Funnel Hacking Live this year. What do you think?
I mean, okay.
Well, she's getting back there.
I didn't tell him at the time what was kind of crumbling in the background, but I was, nope. He said, well, no matter, can you speak at Funnel Hacking Live? And it was incredible. It was a very exciting moment, especially because I really had visualized for a long time what that would feel like to step on that stage and have this experience to be able to give back to this community. ClickFunnels is such a huge part of my life. I went to every single event there was, Unlock the Secrets, 2 Comma Club Cruise. I was always showing up and networking with this community, and it was always my intention to provide value, which I think is a big part of why he asked me, is because I was already providing value and part of this community and really immersed into it. And I think that it's very beneficial for ClickFunnels, for Russell, to give people a platform to do it for more people when they're already doing it. They're already known as a big part of that community. So I like to think that I earned that spot by how I was continuously always showing up and by the identity that I created inside of ClickFunnels. Since speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, people have asked me, what do you think I have to do to be able to be asked to speak at this event? And I'll tell you that I can only imagine Russell or any of the executives at ClickFunnels are probably flooded every year with people's pitches. Like, I can only imagine that their inbox is probably just tons of people saying, can I speak? So I would tell you that you have to earn it rather than ask for it. Show them what you can provide rather than tell. I think it's a good mindset, whether you're asking for a favor or an opportunity, that you always give before you ask. You know, I actually asked Russell to speak at my event, Content Machine Live, later in 2020, but I knew that this wasn't something that I could just ask him. I needed to be able to provide value first and maybe show him how he would benefit or something that would incentivize him. I knew going into speaking at Funnel Hacking Live that he has a big intention for that event. He sells the belief from stage that everyone in that audience is capable of achieving these big results with ClickFunnels, with this software, that they can also earn $1 million and earn a 2 Comma Club award. Well, I was at the time on the way to my 2 Comma Club award. I was participating in the ClickFunnels community, and my role, I knew, was to go on stage at Funnel Hacking Live to also contribute to that belief, to help people and show them how they can generate traffic to their funnels with YouTube. That was the topic I spoke on. And I knew that if he's gonna ask someone to speak at his event, how am I contributing to the overall puzzle? How do I become a puzzle piece and add value to this event and help bring him closer to his overall goal? When I asked him to speak at my event, it wasn't one of those things that I could just call him up and say, hey, Russell, will you speak at my event? I actually made a really fun marketing campaign, which I'll link in the description below. You'll see I actually made him a couple music videos to ask him to speak and created a bunch of buzz around it so that by the time he spoke at my event, there was a lot of people really excited to see him speak. So it created the audience, it created the benefit, and then we could also help support by, driving traffic to his book sales or to ClickFunnels. Before I ever asked him to speak at my event, I became one of the top 10 affiliates for his book launch, Traffic Secrets, which showed that I created a whole campaign to support him, and then my event also gave out tons of free copies of his books. So then that was also really beneficial for him to speak at it, to then provide more value and push his book sales even more. I'll also share some really behind the scenes of my Funnel Hacking Live journey, and I actually have a whole playlist on this channel of several vlogs leading up to my entrance to that stage. I was going through one of the most pivotal times in my career while also going through the biggest transition in my life. 4 weeks before I spoke at Funnel Hacking Live, I announced publicly that my marriage had ended. This, of course, was a really difficult time for me, and I had some moments where I considered, am I not ready for this? Am I not ready to speak on this stage? Are people gonna judge me? Of course, I thought for myself, getting divorced at this early age, people would look at me as a failure and think, why would I listen to her if she doesn't have her life figured out? But instead I decided to embrace that message and share it, and the community surrounding me embraced me and encouraged me to push on and push forward and encouraged me to do it for them, not just for me. If I had stopped creating content, it wouldn't just impact me. And that was the big epiphany that I had, was that helping people doesn't stop just because your life isn't perfect. No one's is. So I documented my whole journey to getting on that stage, the highs and the lows. I spoke on the 2 Comma Club cruise just weeks before that, and that was a really emotional experience for me, re-entering the public with a new name and the attention and the sympathy that people give. And there was a really big lesson in documenting the story, because people resonated and they want to cheer you on and they want to experience that story. Instead of it being what I feared was going to brand me as the divorce girl, because I shared the story, it became a story of perseverance. And because of that, I entered and exited the stage to a standing ovation. So my advice to you, whether you are a Funnel Hacking Live attendee or a speaker, go to Funnel Hacking Live, network a lot, provide value, get so immersed in the community, follow all of the speakers and the people you meet on social media, and figure out what puzzle piece you are to the whole environment, to the whole community, whether that's for the ClickFunnels executives, for Russell, or for the community that you guys can maybe work together, network together, become opportunities or clients for each other. And be genuine when you're speaking to your colleagues, to the speakers. Share what really impacted you and be genuine in sharing your story. And if you're someone that you're hoping to grow your business to this level where opportunities are knocking on your door and you're sending leads effortlessly from Hello to High Ticket, I have an awesome free training for you. And I'm going to give you access to my highest performing, most revenue generating campaigns that you can plug and play into your own business and your YouTube channel to maximize lead generation and sales. So click on the link in the video description below and you can attend my next free private training where I'll show you how to ascend leads from Hello to High Ticket. A dream come true. Did I already say dream? for a lot of people in this community, that would just be the biggest honor, and it was one that I was really... And at the time, I just hoped that it would be... I already said this, hang on. I made my first 2 Comma Club... Before I asked him to speak at... then I got a divorce instead. Awkward. How do I word that? I want to say that as a joke, but I don't want it to be like cringy.